Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you don't know your Moon and Rising signs, there is a link in the description down below for a free birth chart. You just need your time and place of birth. As a general reading rules apply. Timing's far from absolute. Roles can get reversed sometimes if someone else turns up in the reading, because I see the energies and the actions, so the cards don't really come with name tags. So where these readings are different from a lot of the readings you'll see on YouTube is I would like you to ask a question beforehand. So take a moment, pause the video if you want to, think about all of the questions that are around you, focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them because the cards will answer what they want. Also, there is a past and a present in this spread. So if the past and the present don't fit, don't try and make it fit. Go and watch your moon sign, go and watch your rising sign. In fact, I would say always go and watch your rising sign. It's the most important sign in ancient astrology. So these readings for December, or basically whenever you come to them, but certainly for December, they're under the shadow, if that's the right word, of the lunar eclipse and the upcoming solar eclipse. Both potentially 6-month energies. The lunar maybe 3 months, depends how you look at it. But then again, change is change. And once change has happened, that's it. Everything from that point on has been defined by that change that happens until the next change happens. So I'm expecting, I mean, this is the season finale of 2020. You know, it's not going to go out with a whimper. That is to put it briefly. But anyway, talking about the eclipse, solar eclipse readings I obviously haven't done yet. The lunar eclipse, look in the description down below. You'll be able to find the playlist for the lunar eclipse signs, and also a show that I did with astrologer David Fischer to discuss the ins and outs of the eclipse. And yes, even though the eclipse was a week or so ago now, it is worth watching. In January it will still be worth watching because it's still relevant, it's still valid. Those are energies that will be with us for a while. Obviously they'll probably be swamped by that point by the Saturn Jupiter conjunction, sorry. The only other thing, housekeeping, there is a link down below for the Facebook page for this channel. I post these videos, obviously, and all the astrology weather report type videos that I watch, so you can see and learn along with me. Right, let's go straight to the cards. And there's a really interesting message coming out for you. Where do I start? The High Lady in Love of Compassion from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms basically tells you that love is the only reality, and that's something that you need to recall, remember. Marta here from the Mausoleum. We've got Marta and Nyx. Now, Nyx to me always represents, well, she represents the darkness, obviously, but that can be a pregnant darkness, an area of creation, an area of potential. I also noticed that here she's talking about things that are hidden, things that are secret. And when we've got the cards here, forgetting oneself and gilded regret, is there something, Sagittarius, that the world is trying to draw to your attention? Something that you well know already, but it's almost like you're doing the whole la 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 not listening business to it. It's not, it is at once both conscious and not conscious. It's like, yes, when you think about this thing, you will actively try to think about other things. But most of the time you are passively not thinking about something, and it's affecting your day-to-day life because Marta. Now Marta cares for, from the Mausoleum Oracle, Marta cares for those who in life, although they may have considered themselves quite keen-sighted, hadn't necessarily operated in compassion, in kindness, and therefore heading to the afterlife, they are struck blind until they learn to look at their own reflection and learn to look at their own faults and sins. Now, I am not saying that you've necessarily... Well, I mean, of course you've got faults and sins. Everybody's got faults and sins. You know, so... But I'm not just picking on you here. What I am seeing is that now is a perfect opportunity for you to work on those faults and sins. And what I am being inspired to say, especially with this High Lady of Love and Compassion, is... be nice to yourself while you're doing it. Because we also have Zagzagel, the physician angel here from the Angel Tarot, which is telling me that there's a cure. Simple as that. There's a cure. So whatever you are not looking at that is disturbing your actions, you are being advised to look at it, because now's the perfect time to sort it out. It may appear to be painful, but it's almost like I feel that there's something that you are wanting to know. There's something that you are wanting to learn. And with the Three of Submersibles here on the bottom of the primary deck, that's Three of Cups. And that's telling me with these other two that you will be... I didn't even see that. Right. That you will be having assistance with this. Now, I want to just point out, so from the Dark Goddess Oracle, we have Tiamat representing control. Tiamat is quite a scary goddess. There is certainly in popular fiction, and if you ever watched the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, but you know, Tiamat makes her appearance in a lot of fictions. So if you read that sort of fiction, you're well aware of Tiamat. Representing control, I'm wondering if this is linking with all this message about examining yourself, putting aside a regret, because cycles. This. From the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle, we've got the Cycles card. Now, I got about 3 messages from this when I first looked at it. One, it's coming around again. Whatever that means, it's coming around again. But if there's something that you've been deliberately not listening to, that's what's coming around again. 2, this too shall pass. Because... it will, and I've just suddenly forgotten the third one. It will no doubt come to me. It was something to do with Tiamat, wasn't it? I don't know. It will come to me. So yeah, it's coming around again. This too shall pass, and also there's that sense of longevity. That's the other thing I was getting. A sense of longevity, an issue that's. It's about time, and you're able to bring it to a close this time, because the angel energy over the reading we've got here, the angel of knowing combined with Zagzagel, that's quite an interesting combination to gain that form of healing. It's basically season finale. Here's your final exam for 2020. You know, I'm not saying there won't be more in January, because there will be, but it will be pointed out to you, because from the angel area we've got Malkut. So Malkut's representing the kingdom, the 10th Sephiroth, the physical world. This is a real world issue. It is affecting your real world life. But we have Aestibus, the angel of divination. Now, Aestibus rarely appears. I think this is, since I've had this deck, this might be the 3rd time that he/she has appeared. More than likely the 2nd time. Aestibus makes you aware of the power of fate. Eastibus comes not as an ally, but as an answer to your, you're going out into the middle of the field and screaming, why? Eastibus will appear and he'll tell you why. That might be good, that might be bad. Eastibus is not an ally. Eastibus is not an enemy either. Eastibus just said, oh, you really want to know? There you go. It's, double-edged. But that figures with the feelings that I have here for the how you feel pile position. We start with the Tower. Things are falling to pieces. Things are falling down. Even while you are considering you're considering that you have mastery over your own dreams and your own actions, although your actions may be a little bit more reactive recently than they are proactive. But there's also authority that you have. There's authority that you possess with both of these Master of Moons and Queen of Staves. And when I see that authority here with Tiamat, I'm wondering, what precisely are you trying to control when there is something crumbling down? And sometimes when something is crumbling down, the best thing you can do is get out of the way and let it crumble. So there's conflict around at the moment, heated debate at the very, very least. And this is something that you signed up for. You've entered some form of partnership that has then ended up in some form of conflict and debate, some form of isolation. We've got Four of Swords and the Hermit here. Well, Four of Stars. So I see. Maybe there's a conflict that you've just gone, oh no, not having anything to do with that, and wandered off. And because you've wandered off, you're the only person that's wandered off away from this conflict, and therefore you're feeling quite isolated. That's fine, so that you can gain clarity of the situation, because Nine of Swords here, yeah, the situation is stressing you out, but these stresses, these panics and anxieties, these nightmares are coming to you for you to sort them out. 9, rebirth. With the Chariot, you are being driven by your anxieties and nightmares to a new place, to a better place where you can get clarity. So you have to, the first thing you can do here is take a good inventory of you, because you are the thing that you know best. You might be sat there going, I'm not sure how best I know me right now. That's fine. Asking the questions just goes to show that process in operation. But like I've said to, no, I can't remember what reading it was. It might have been Scorpio. It might have been the one before. It gets better. It gets better. This is a hell of a time. And a wonderful time. This is so that you can truly find your equilibrium. But the Vasaria here is, she's not just about equilibrium, she's about clemency and equilibrium. Bringing me back to that thing about Marta, who says people need to be examining their being able to demonstrate their kindness, and the High Lady of Love and Compassion saying the only thing that's real is love. So there's a huge self-inventory here going on, but information is going to come to you that is going to give you more balance. But I also believe that to a great extent, it's not the information that gives you the balance, it's the you processing that information. And there's an element of and another thing, and another thing, and another thing from that one piece of information that comes to you, quite possibly the Eastibus showing you the where things are heading. That one piece of information that comes to you, where you're, okay, so let me absorb that. Well, hang on a minute. Well, that means that, and that means that. And that puts this experience from last week into a different context. And so the dominoes keep falling. So almost, I watched it to to quote St. Hugo on Young Turks, tick, 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 tick. You know, there's the cogs are turning, and this one piece of information doesn't give you healing. It gives you the ability to put pieces together so that you then give yourself the healing under the blessing of these two quite kick-ass angels, and so that you don't end up in the care of this one when you get to the other side, because it is a time about creation. That's what Nix is telling me, and this is what, if you watched my shuffle video, oh no, that side, my shuffle video when I was doing the intro, I noticed a few cards came out of the Dark Goddess Oracle. We have first Pandora, curiosity, asking the question. The Morrigan, sovereignty, looking where you do have power. And with Tiamat and what was it? The king, the Master of Moons and the Queen of Staves. It's not just looking where you do have power, it's looking where you exert that power. Because again, with the Martyr card, I'm rather thinking that there may be areas where you have power and you are not using it. And there are other areas where you have power and maybe you shouldn't be using it, you know. So there is definitely oh, you're getting toed off here, aren't you, Sagittarius? Right. There's a definite wrist slap going on here, of not a wrist slap of stop what you're doing now, but a wrist slap more of, oi, pay attention. Look at the dynamics that are going on around right now. Let's have a look at the past, because this leads with Pele at the end, transformation. Like I say, it's good, and we've got victory at the end of this. Just so that after I'm telling you all the telly-offy bits, we're going to end up here in a good place. So let's have a look at the... right. There was a time in your past where you withdrew. You came back into yourself and sort of drew back from other people in anticipation of taking on some form of, well, this Two of Stars, it's the Two of Swords, so it's indicating that blindness that Marta talks about. But also, I always feel like it's very much a passing of the torch. We've got two generations of women here, and it's almost like the scale is going from one Lady Justice to another Lady Justice. There's my comics showing. It was a Neil Gaiman character. And, you know, it was never the same person twice. And with this page of coins, that's my level up, you know. You've completed stage 1, start stage 2 card. Now, I love this particular page of coins because his abilities, his skills, his talents, his knowledge is hidden behind, I always think, quite a wry smile. It's like he's looking, whoever it is he's looking at, he's got this expression on his face that's going, you haven't got a clue what I know or what I can do, have you? Carry on with your games. You just carry on there. And that's supposed to be you. But that also indicates how you may have had the authority there. It's also a good position to then go and lose your way from. Which is quite possibly what happened. Now. 2 4s. So angel number 44, whatever that means. And this is in the past. But I think that you've been feeling quite... You carried on the isolation, but not as much as what you did before. But you became quite defensive. Whatever it is you had learnt, or learnt how to do, or learnt how to be, whatever, you became quite defensive over that. And there was a lot of discussion and debate about how you in life were able to move forward. And I think you will have thought about signing up to something, but there was a lot of negotiation around it. There was a lot of, add clause number 57. There's, because this is the Five of Wands, Five of Staves, but I always feel like this is a debate that is going to reach a conclusion. They have a massive scroll there that they are going to write upon. So, whereas they may all be fighting for their points of view, especially under the influence of that Four of Leviathans, Four of Pentacles, that protective urge, there was negotiation that led to a certain decision. It led to quite a fast change, to be honest, where you ended up partnering up with somebody, but that partnership in and of itself actually hurt a little, although it was strategic for you, and you was trying to nurture what you could. But it was all it was all with an eye of getting the hell on out of there. But you were blind to... Okay, you were in balance, but you were blind to some of the events that were going on around you. And you didn't realise that at that point there was a whole new beginning sorted until recently you signed up to this partnership, which again was giving you another strategic move. So one thing I'm seeing from the recent past is two very strategic moves. If I do this, then I will end up there. And I feel that that is not a strategic move as in what you're doing in the office. This is more a relationship smaller sense of strategy. If I get to know that person, then eventually I will get to know that person, and they will give me access to this. It's quite calculated going on here, Sagittarius. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. What I am saying is you need to bring love and kindness back into that process, back into that. Sagittarius is the archer. It's got its eye on the target. And it knows that that arrow is going to land. Just make sure there's nothing in the way of your arrow. Or no one. This might be important before you let loose. The goal is not... The ends do not justify the means. The goal may be as important as the journey, but the journey is as important as the goal. That's the bit that I want to stress. No, but other people are seeing that you are moving. Oh, that's nice. And they are supporting you in this. So you've got good allies around you. Let's see what's coming up. So I've done that. So there is forward motion coming up for you, but to a certain extent, there is some illusion there for you as well. We have the moon with Chang'e on the card, with Nine of Globes, so Nine of Pentacles. Sag, do you really need to open up a little to realise that you've actually got some good friends around you? And you may be of a habit of being defensive because of what you've learned in the past, and therefore you're not necessarily noticing that you've got good allies around you. Yes, because something is causing you to limit yourself. The protectiveness is causing you to limit yourself, whereas there is a chance here for you really to jump forward and literally become all that. Captain of Leviathans is the King of Pentacles, who is all that: house, car, clothes, charisma, job. You know, there's or job is probably occupation. Let's say occupation. I don't want to use the word job there. Now, if you can access that, and bear in mind that the King of Pentacles is just one step on from the nurturing Queen of Pentacles. So I feel that there is some nurturing coming towards you. You need to give some nurturing back, because we have the Cosmic Blueprint, the World card, basically, things turning up for the good, with Two of Moons, which is the Two of Cups, and the Sun. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So if you can release some of that protectiveness, if you can release all the I must preserve this, because yeah, things are falling away, and like I say, if a tower crumbles, get out the way, let it. So the alternate futures that we have are really quite pleasant. There's plenty of options, but not all of them are real in front of you. It will take study, and it will take sticking within some quite firm self-imposed guidelines for you to get the best out of them. And I am tempted to say, do not try and recapture the past. You know, you are looking towards the new. You are making a choice. If you look towards the new, you are making a choice to really build a whole new firm foundation. They were 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Coins there. That's really nice. Now, as I say, the end card is the Victory card, Six of Engines. With the Cardinal of Stars, which works to the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Again, there's that influence of good friends around you. But also, with this particular Three of Cups, I also feel that there is someone around you at the end judging you. Yes. Yes, they are. And I want to say rightly so, because they are pleased with what they see. You know, so that's, although you might be going through judgments, you know, I'm fine, I'm standing on my own 2 feet, I don't need to listen to all this crap. But this is someone going, you know, you've turned into a person of real quality, or you have created something of some real quality. But there is that message of, be nice, be kind. Yes, it's all right focusing on the goal. Yes, it's all right focusing on the on whatever your aim is, but be a little bit more aware of other people's needs that you're encountering on this path, on this journey, because there's just this hint, quite a strong hint, but there's this hint here that that's something you are not paying attention to. So hopes and fears. Will this actually be a new beginning? Because it feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm going to end up giving up on this idea. And I think, yes, you can end up giving up on this idea if you don't open up. If you remain constantly on your own, standing on your own 2 feet, going, I'm doing this independently. No, you're not actually. You're really not. And you don't have to either. You don't have to be doing it independently, because there's people around here that want to assist you on your journey, because I think that assists them on their journey. And so if you're seeing someone offering you something, well, you're just doing that because you benefit from it in this way, well, yeah, what's wrong with that? Because you're benefiting from it as well, and they are suggesting a win-win outcome. And they're not just suggesting a win-win outcome. I think they're coming from a nice place. They're not just going, if I do give this to you, then I get this, and therefore I get what I want. And, oh, look, you also get what you want. But it's not just that they are focused on what they want. They actually want you to get what you want, if that makes sense. So it's a little less transactional, and it's just as much a gift as it is a transaction. I hope you understand this, because, well, I mean, the cards have been quite plain, haven't they? I've no idea how it relates, and I am so sorry, Sagittarius, if I've said anything that seems a bit out of turn, but that's what they say. So, if you dare, and it means something to you, please do comment down below, because it'll be certainly nice to know that a reading like this has got where it's supposed to be. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, keep your eyes open for the solar eclipse readings. But yeah, add a little kindness to your path. Cheers.